Alright, hello, what's up guys? It is Zach Rowe with LB Certified Fitness and coming at you with the video today. And this one's a bit of a doozy, I'm not gonna lie. This might be sensitive to a lot of people, but there's a lot of misinformation put out there. And as a fitness and nutrition, I would say I'm a fitness expert. About to get my degree in this in like a couple of weeks. I'm not a nutrition expert, but I know a lot about it, and I've studied it pretty extensively in school and on my own. And so, as the title of the video, I'm sure you can see, is about Tess Holliday and her tweet recently, a few days ago. I truly cannot even believe this. If you're not familiar with Tess Holliday, she is a plus size model. Plus, being a very big plus. And that's perfectly fine. That's cool with her. You have every right to do what you want with your body. But what I have a problem with is this tweet she put out. She says, "I'm anorexic and in recovery. I'm not ashamed to say it out loud anymore. I'm the result of a culture that celebrates thinness and equates that to worth. But I get to write my own narrative now. I'm finally able to care for a body that I've punished my entire life, and I am finally free." So, I mean, there's some parts in there that I agree with, and there's some parts I don't. First, I'm anorexic. That's not true, alright? Let me just give you the definition of anorexia, because you might not know. Or not the basically the definition. So, first of all, it usually develops in adolescence or young adulthood, and mostly affects women more than men. But people with anorexia generally view themselves as overweight, even if they're dangerously underweight. They tend to constantly monitor their weight, avoid eating certain kinds of foods, and severely restrict calories. Alright, common symptoms: considerably underweight compared to people of similar age and height, very restricted eating patterns. I don't know her personally, I don't know what her eating patterns are. An intense fear of gaining weight or persistent behaviors to avoid gaining weight. Obviously not the case, correct. A relentless pursuit of thinness and willingness to maintain a healthy weight. She might have a relentless pursuit, but she's not doing a very good job at it. A heavy influence of body weight or perceived body weight or body shape on self-esteem. I mean, I don't know anything about her. I don't really keep up with her, but anytime I ever hear about her, it's about her body weight. So, she must have some kind of self-esteem issues with it, because she's constantly addressing it. I mean, anytime she's in the news, it's about that. It's not about like some modeling gig or whatever. So I don't know. But again, I don't know her personally. A distorted body image, including denial of being seriously overweight. Underweight, my bad. Denial of being seriously underweight. Obviously not the case, right? But she does have a distorted body image, I believe. She thinks that it's perfectly acceptable to be that weight. And although morally it may be, health-wise it's not. It's just, there's no science that will say that. If you're, obese, which she obviously is. She's probably morbidly obese by the rings. 100% she is, right? I don't need her height and her weight to do the math and figure that out. I can tell you she's morbidly obese. The rates of chronic illnesses and whatnot goes up significantly. Quality of life decreases. I mean, there's so many bad things that are associated with being overweight that it's just common knowledge at this point. I don't even feel like I really need to go over. But as you can see, she might be constantly monitoring her weight. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know her personally, so I don't know if she's avoiding certain types of food. But she's obviously not severely restricting her calories, because she's morbidly obese, and we all know it's just calories in versus calories out, right? So you have to be in a calorie surplus for a prolonged period of time to be as big as she is, right? You can't. It's physically impossible to be anorexic and the size she is. It's not even, it's not even capable, right? So that's the first part of the tweet, right? I highly disagree with that, and it's really just, it's I don't know how she came to this diagnosis, if this is a self-diagnosis, or I'd love to know some doctor or registered dietitian that diagnosed her with anorexia, because I'd love to talk to them and ask them how they came to that conclusion. But nevertheless, I'm not ashamed to say it out loud anymore. So she's had this information probably for a while and hasn't wanted to put it out, which is interesting. I'm the result of a culture that celebrates thinness and equates that to worth. I don't think we're a culture of thinness. I think we're a culture of looking good. And you can be bigger and look good, right? Being extremely thin doesn't always make you look good. You know, being girls that are muscular and have some definition in them aren't thin. They're big. They're muscular. They look good. So I think that's what looks good. I don't think we celebrate thinness. In my opinion, a girl that's too thin, it's a little unsettling, really, because it means you're probably just not working out. You're not taking care of yourself. You're probably malnourished. Depends kind of on that scale, you know. Weight is a sliding scale, right? So it's just, it kind of maybe hits that certain point where it's like, oh, all right. And yeah, that, I mean, how thin you is not equated to your worth. I think your ideas and your career and your personality and all these different attributes equate to your worth, not just how you look physically. So I think that's incorrect. But I get to write my own narrative now. Yeah, I mean, you can always write your own narrative. You know, you have a giant social media following. You can write your own narrative whenever you want. And I'm finally able to care for a body that I punished for her entire life, and I'm finally free. So there, I agree. She's obviously punished her body, you know, just excessively eating. And what she really, if there was to be a an eating disorder that she would be diagnosed with, it would be, and I don't know this, and I'm just, if there was to be one, I don't know if there is, and I don't know her personally, but if she was to be diagnosed with one, it would probably be a binge eating disorder, where you eat an excessive amount of food, but unlike bulimia, you never purge it, so you retain all those calories that you ate, and you don't purge it back out, so your body doesn't digest and use it as energy. So if she was to have an eating disorder, that would be it. But honestly, you can almost look at obesity as an eating disorder in a certain kind of way, right? Oftentimes with obesity, it's not usually a problem of sedentariness, because even when you're sedentary, you expend calories. You have your basal metabolic rate, and then your activities, non-exercise energy expenditure that you have, kind of just walking around, doing whatever. And, you know, it's not a significant amount of calories, but you are expending calories. And if that's literally all you do, you could eat that amount of food to maintain maintenance, and you would be good, right? So usually obesity isn't considered a sedentary disease, but more of you're overeating, because it's a lot easier in the reverse to eat exponentially more calories than you're expending. It's way easier to do that. So yeah, I think you're just spreading misinformation. You're probably confusing a lot of girls that follow you, and thinking that this is what anorexia looks like, when someone that might really have anorexia is like, well, they don't really understand. They might be misinformed of like, oh, I don't have anorexia. That's what Tess Holliday has. She's like that. I am super skinny and I look great and I'm fantastic. That is not the case. And you know, it's unfortunate. Again, I'd love to know if this was a self-diagnosis or what fitness or health professional diagnosed her with that. It's very unfortunate. It upset me enough to make this video. You know, I don't just make videos for clout or whatever. I mostly just put out informational stuff when I'm addressing something current event wise, kind of so rile me up, and this does, and I disagree with it. and it's unfortunate because this type of information, this really good medical, not this isn't like good medical information, but like the true facts on these things don't really get addressed. It's just like the hot take from the person that has the big following, and then it's very seldom of those people out there that follow her are going to do the extra work to go out there and look and fact check and learn and this, that, and the other, and it just becomes a big problem. So anyways, that's all that I'd love to talk to you. You know, I know you'll never see this, and just I'd like to ask you, number one, who is the person that diagnosed you with this, and number two is, why do you believe you have anorexia? I'd love to know what her opinion on it is. That would be interesting. If you're not going to talk to me about it, maybe like go on a podcast or something. Go on the Jerry and talk about it, because I'd love to hear. Alright, this has been Zach Rowe with LB Certified Fitness. Check out my social media stuff. I'll have a link below. Check out my website for diet, training stuff. Check out my podcast with Josh, the Performance Academy podcast. That is in my channels listed. That's it. Peace.